I can see the little record on my side.
Awesome. So, hello, welcome to our very first franchisee interview, which I'm super, super excited about. And actually, I should have said this before, but when I was thinking about reaching out to franchisees, you were the very first person that I thought of. And
wow.
Talk about law of attraction. So because I think I watched a video that you made, and it was probably a couple of years ago, and I just thought, wow, I absolutely love the concept of Diddi Dance and love what you've done with it and everything else. So it's always been in the back of my mind, and I've been thinking about this idea to collaborate with franchise owners. So there we go.
No, thank you.
Yeah. So would you like to introduce yourself? Just tell us a little about yourself and Diddi Dance. Give us a bit of an overview.
Of course. So I'm Anne-Marie. I'm Anne-Marie Martin, and I'm the franchisor of Diddi Dance. So we run funky preschool dance classes for boys and girls. And we've got them all over the UK.
Awesome. So how did you get started then? Did you go into it with the intention of starting a franchise, or did you just start the classes? How did it kind of go?
No, it really is a business that I fell into. So I was a professional dancer, did my degree and performed and did all of that. And then I was teaching lots of older children. So I've been teaching ages from 4 to 17. I did some A-level teaching, and I've been teaching children of those ages since I was sort of like 18. And I was teaching various different dance schools all over London. And then for my Monday to Friday sort of daytime work, I taught for a preschool company, classes called Jamboree, an American company. And they were doing play and music classes. And it was a lot of mums and nannies there, actually, that were asking about a dance class for toddlers. I said, I've never taught that age group before. I'm not sure I'd be confident with what to do with them. And they felt that there was lots of ballet classes out there, but nothing sort of a bit funkier, a bit more energetic. A bit more fun. Not as disciplined, a lot more fun. So they literally nagged me into it. And they booked a hall and told me to turn up one day. So I did a bit of research, and the experience I'd learned through working with toddlers before. And I started a very basic 45-minute session. And then I sort of developed it as I went and introduced props, extra ideas, different songs. And then over the course of the first year or two, I then decided there was a market in it, and I tested some other areas, had some specific music written, and it sort of developed from there, really.
So when was it? When did you start then? What year did you start?
That was in 2003.
Oh, wow. Fantastic. So when did you start to franchise them? How did that all sort of come out into play?
So once I realised after a few years that this was quite successful, I tested it in South London as well. I realised that this could work across the UK. So I wanted to look into the options of licensing, franchising. So I decided to look into it. I think it was 2006. I went to a franchise consultant who did the whole disclosure pack and check that it could be franchisable. I looked at the different options and realised franchising was the route I wanted to go down, because it was a set lesson plan. It wasn't just a name someone was buying into. And I wanted to really protect that name and that brand. So franchising was the option. And then we did
baby, isn't it? You want to make sure it's done right, don't you?
That's it. I want the Diddi Dance experience to be the same wherever you go. So that's why I realised I wanted it that controlled. But I did a pilot scheme first with some friends who were ex-dancers as well. Chester,
that's up the road from me.
And Surrey. Yeah, so they were my first testing ones. But then, so that was 2006, and in 2008, I selfishly fell pregnant with my son. So it all went on the back burner a bit then. So my whole sort of business story is quite an organic one, really, because then we didn't look into, he was born in 2008, and then so I was running it all single-handedly, and then I took on a franchise director in 2010, and that's when we really pushed it then.
Oh, fantastic. So how many franchisees do you have now then?
42 now. They range from Aberdeen down to Plymouth.
Oh, amazing. So what's been your favourite? What's been your highlight then on this past 15 years? Is it 16 years? The 14 years? Oh, my maths help.
But we 2017, yeah, 13, 14 years now.
Wow.
So yeah, the franchising journey's properly been since 2010. But I think it's just when you speak to the franchisees that are doing really well and they've got that work-life balance down and they're really seeing the benefits of running something for themselves but not by themselves, having that support, hearing the positive stories from them, that's always the highlight, knowing that you've really helped in them achieving that.
Yeah, amazing. And that's why I'm so passionate about supporting franchises, because we get lots of mums that come to BizMums who are either on their own, running a business and a bit stuck, want to, to do something a bit different, or just looking, my big passion is around that you don't have to compromise your lifestyle. You can have a business that works flexibly around your family and you don't have to sacrifice your income. You don't have to work with a job that you don't enjoy. And I think franchises are an amazing opportunity because, like you say, you get that support. You're not on your own. But, and when you're like, you have children, you've got a family, like the last thing you want to need is to sort out branding and websites and what to do and, all the extra things that come along with it. This, it's in the box. It's amazing that you can.
It is. And I think that's what a lot of people don't realise sometimes. They see upfront fees and they think, oh, I could just start it myself. But I think when you really sit down and analyse it, the amount of work you have to put in to start your own business, it's a lot, and it's a big
credibility that comes with it as well. When people recognise the name, that's so much, with that hard work that you have to put in behind the scenes to get to that point.
Absolutely.
So, that's what you're buying to sell. Okay, awesome. So what's been the challenges though? What's tested you along the journey?
A lot. I did a degree in contemporary dance. I have no business background. I have no business qualifications. I have no business knowledge. Well, I don't think I do now. But I knew what I wanted to do. I knew I was determined and I knew I was driven and I knew what I wanted to do. But you can't know everything, and you can't just have the knowledge in everything you need to. So, when you're doing your books or you're learning about marketing and then you're looking at the legalities, all of those things, you don't quite realise how much work goes into that. So they have been some big hurdles just on the business side of knowing how to run it. But I didn't rush anything, a lot down to circumstances. I didn't rush anything and things did grow organically, but I always made sure I looked for help from experts. I didn't want to fudge anything. I wanted to make sure it was all done right. So there were hurdles, but I got other people to do them. Who knew what they were doing.
Yeah, and I think your attitude is important when it comes to things like that. You have to, and I always say to the BizMums, like, you will face challenges. That's simple as that. But it's how you overcome them, the mindset that you've got around them and how you deal with them. That's the important thing. Fantastic. Okay.
That's what we look for in franchisees as well. It's not always about what background you have. It's about the personality and drive and enthusiasm that person has. Definitely.
Definitely. So do you have any advice for anyone who might be running a business at the moment and considering franchising that business? It's
all about getting the right advice. Franchising is such a huge industry. It covers everything from Diddi Dance to McDonald's. So there's pretty much a franchise within every sort of business sector. So if you're looking to franchise your own business, you need to get as much advice and support as you can. And there are franchise consultants out there. And one that I volunteer for, an organisation called EWIF, Encouraging Women into Franchising, is a membership service. It's a not-for-profit organisation. We're all volunteers that help run it. And they run regional meetings all over the UK that you can attend your first one for free and meet lawyers, service providers, other franchisors, and get really good advice. So it's about seeking out the right advice before venturing into it.
Oh, fantastic. I'll have to check those out then and add them into the guide that we're going to do. Okay, awesome. So what advice would you give to someone who's looking to set up a business and maybe considering buying into a franchise? What do they look for?
You've got to look for a proven franchise and really look at the difference between franchising and licensing. Unfortunately, there are a lot of companies out there that claim to franchise, but they offer a 3-hour training course and give you a certificate, and that's apparently your franchise. And that's a licensing scheme. So it's really about looking for a good ethical franchise company that has a proven business model, that is either, the BFA is a really good start, the British Franchise Association. They have lots of different franchise opportunities listed, but they also give really great advice. Really ask every question you can think of. How long have you been going? How many franchisees do you have? What is the average profit that can be made? Ask everything you can think of. Make sure the franchise agreement is solid and written by a specific franchise lawyer. And yeah, I say the British Franchise Association. We're not actually members as Diddi Dance. We grew quite naturally and organically, and then to the point where I looked to join the British Franchise Association, the membership fees were a little too high to warrant us to join, but I still believe that should be there. So we're members of EWIF instead, and lots of other associations. But yeah, really do your homework. There are so many options out there, and not all of them are legit franchise options. So yeah.
So do due diligence, definitely.
Absolutely.
Okay, awesome. So if someone's watching this and thinks, actually, do you know what? I love dancing. I love Anne-Marie. And I'm interested in becoming a Diddi Dance franchisee. What can a Diddi Dance franchisee expect? What do they get?
So we have quite a long recruitment process, because I believe, again, any ethical franchisor holds a responsibility to the rest of their network. So we don't rush into our recruitment. We don't sell our franchises to anyone. We believe we award them to the right people. We have a responsibility to a potential franchisee as well, that they will be able to run it successfully. So we have a getting to know you form on the website, and then we have an open day where they can come and see a real class in action taught by myself, and then we give them a full presentation of what the business is about, and then we ask them to complete a basic business plan, so they've really done their research locally to check that this would be a good business for them, and also so that we feel we're getting the right driven and enthusiastic people in their area, and then we go from there. But it's the franchise fee is $4,995, and then there's 10% management service fees ongoing, and for that you get an exclusive territory based on demographic. So we don't do it on geographical locations, we do it on your demographic, and each franchisee, regardless of if there's miles of fields involved, gets a demographic of around 12,000 2 to 4 year olds. We give a full week's training. We have webinars, ongoing forums, we have an annual conference, and we really do give as much support as we can to our franchisee 24/7, mainly myself at 10 p.m. at night.
Oh, fantastic. When you've got that passion for it, though, it's hard to sort of switch off, isn't it?
It really is, but I think that's what I'd want from a franchisee as well, that they are passionate about it. If you're passionate about your business, it doesn't feel like hard work.
No, exactly. I'm the same with BizMums.
Yeah, exactly.
Need to stop working now. Is this work? I don't know.
Yeah.
I feel like it. Oh, I love it. Okay, so we want to find out more. Where do we go? We've got website and Facebook page, all that type of stuff.
Yes, we do. So we have both. So we have a website, diddidance.com, and there's a franchise page on there which gives some more details and a link to a prospectus. And we also have a Facebook page which is simply at Diddi Dance, and people can go there and look a little bit more into what we do and where our other franchises are. They are more than welcome to contact any other franchisee and ask them questions as well. We have anonymous surveys run once a year through all our franchisees, and we disclose all the results of that, and we're really proud that we always get over 90% satisfaction from our franchisees, which I think is hopefully a great indicator that everybody's happy as well.
Fantastic. And we're going to put all your details into the franchise directory as well. So if you've come across this video, then you'll probably find it through there anyway. So you'll just be able to click the links and go through to all that. Okay, well, thank you very much for watching. And if you're interested in finding out more, you can click through. So thank you very much. I'm going to stop the recording now.